Test. Are we live? I don't think I'll ever be officially ready for this stream, but I'm just gonna get started. How do I check? Ooh. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to do without the YouTube chat for this stream. I need to figure this out later. Live chat. Oh, wait. Maybe if I go view live control room. Ooh. Okay. And I think that's good enough. Cool. Alright, so let's get started. I'm gonna start this challenge called Founders Mode. It's basically appropriating Paul Graham's like Founders Mode message, if you're familiar with that at all. But I'm gonna make it my own. And a little bit of background is I dropped out of my PhD in June of 2024, and I spent a few months like trying to figure out my direction, spending like 2 months learning UX UI design, spending some time learning how to make apps, spending some time trying to figure out how to make YouTube videos, and it's just a bunch of time that I've spent trying to learn something instead of actually doing something. And I've been watching like a lot of creators or producers, I should call them, people who like they just go for it. And you might be familiar with like Blake Anderson or like Alex Slater, Zach, these people that are just making apps and just going for it. And I figured now it's my turn. Might not be immediately, might take months, years, doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep working until it happens. And during this Founders Mode, my goal is to get to 100,000 in monthly recurring revenue. I was thinking about how I should approach it. Like, should I just start with like 0 to 100, 0 to 1,000, 0 to 5,000? And I realized, like, why not just go for my biggest fucking wildest dreams, $100,000 a month? And I'm gonna stream Monday through Saturday, 3 hours in the morning until this happens. And I say that now, might be taking like a week or two, well, not two, like a week break from stream, maybe every other month, once every 3 months. We'll see, but I'm never gonna stop working. So that's the only, like, I guess, asterisk to that comment. And so before I get started making my second app, I am going to talk a little bit about myself, and I'll just skip over. I had like this whole plan on what I was going to say and introduce myself, but I decided that it's too early for this. I didn't get enough sleep, not as clear going off the top right now, but I went to college to get my BS and master's in electrical engineering. The original thought going into college was that I needed to figure out what my business was, what I wanted to. I needed to know enough to be able to start like whatever business I wanted to create. And back then, I mean, we didn't have ChatGPT like it is now. You needed that knowledge. Otherwise, you're stuck with Googling shit, and that just isn't as efficient. So anyways, went to college, thought that it would help me, which it did to some extent. Got my BS, got my MS, electrical engineering, learned about three different areas: analog embedded system, or analog integrated circuits, embedded systems, and VLSI. I don't think I will explain those here, but essentially it's like very physical stuff, not necessarily like software coding, but I did learn coding along the way, like Python, C, C++, and now I'm working with Swift. And so for Founders Mode, my main focus will be apps. The reason being, if you're not familiar, or if you haven't read Millionaire Fastlane, for anyone that wants to get rich, you need, like, I think it's 5 different qualities or characteristics to be true of whatever business or thing you're working on. And the first one is control. You need to have ownership of it. If you're a doctor, for example, you don't have ownership of like the hospital or the clinic of the organization that you're working for. So apps give me that, being like a solo developer. Then there's entry. It needs to be complicated enough, difficult enough that it limits who can enter it. And apps give me that because not everyone wants to learn how to code, understand the back end, understand AI, integrating AI, and all of that. The next one is need. So apps, you can solve any need, basically, from your phone. That works with your phone, I mean. And as for time, I didn't explain need. So need is just, it needs to solve a problem that people have, and so apps solve that need. As for time, whatever you do, it needs to be separated from your time. If you need to spend an hour to make $10, you're limited by your time. So apps, no matter what I'm doing, apps will always be there. If I spend 5 hours working on it, then that's 5 hours that can be, like, the app can be shipped to anyone regardless of how much time I spent on it. And then the last one is scaling. So whatever you're working on, it needs to be able to reach like a large pool of people. And if you're working at like a coffee shop, trying to get the coffee shop growing, that in itself isn't going to scale as well as like software or something else like that. And let me see what else I'm missing. Streaming 6 days a week, working on apps because it meets these different Fastlane principles. Dropped out in 2024. Now doing this challenge. And okay, let's break down how I'm going to approach this phase, or this challenge. So I'm going to spend like the next 4 to 8 weeks working on an app every like 1 to 2 weeks. And my goal is to build like a portfolio of apps. The idea being that I'm not making any money not having products out there, and I just need to get started. And I want to get to the point where I have enough, I'm producing enough, I'm creating enough, and creating enough to start to gather data and understand like where my next problem is, or my next, if you've ever seen like any Alex Hormozy videos where he's like breaking down a business, like your problem is that you're not transferring enough of your views to leads, or you're not like closing enough of your leads. Like it's an entire pipeline from you're getting views all the way to you're selling your product. And along that process, there's different issues that can arise. And so my whole thing is, right now there's nothing for people to view. I don't have any apps. I'm not like a content creator, although I am streaming this. But basically I don't have anything out there. So like I'm not going to make anything because there's nothing to sell. And so the goal is make a portfolio, then start to like uncover the pipeline, learn, and then be able to like scale, reading books, understanding how I can improve everything, and go from there. So yeah, make a portfolio of apps, build an app every 1 to 2 weeks, market it. Well, build 4 apps at a time over a period of like 1 month to 2 months, and then spend a month marketing those 4 apps, and then repeat the cycle. Yeah, and so my goal with these streams is to like share my wins, share my failures, share the analytics, share any income, and then also just get you involved. I want to hear what kind of like things you might be interested in testing with this, or what you want to learn from this. And yeah, it's a journey. So let's get started on this first app, or second app actually. I made my first app, like, it took me about a month from the design all the way to like the putting it on the app store. It's not there yet. It's been approved, but I'm going to release it like on Friday. Tomorrow actually. So getting started with this first app, what it is, who it's for, and everything in between. So my second app is going to be an AI coloring book for kids 8 to 15. Basically let the kids create whatever they imagine. And if you notice, it's AI. I kind of intentionally made it that way because if you've heard of, there's like the whole everyone's doing AI calorie tracker, AI what was the other one, looks maxing, AI quitting, I don't know if I can say that, quitting, Quitter is the app I'm thinking about. And so my first app wasn't going to be an AI app. It was going to be something else. I figured, if I'm going to get started, why not just go for the gold and see if I can make anything of it. If not, there's plenty of other AI apps I have in mind, so we'll just play it as we go. And let's see. So yeah, AI app, kids can create whatever they imagine. Spent last week, I think it was, researching like apps. Then spent 2 to 3 days working on 2 days, 1 day. I don't remember. It was like all last week. Designed my low fidelity prototype, then created my high fidelity prototype, and now I'm going to start coding. And I guess I can walk through the app before we actually get started. So the app is spread into 2 phases, you can say. 2 stages. And the first one is just like, you open the app, what do you see? And that's the gallery. So basically when the kid opens the app, what I want them to see is like the variety of coloring. During my research, a lot of people were gauging how good a coloring book app was by just scrolling the gallery and seeing what options were available. And that's like the first, I guess, impression of the app that people get. The second impression is, or the second stage, I don't know what to call it, or flow, I guess, is how the user generates images. And that's here. Let's create a picture or a story. If you want to create a picture, it's just like one coloring page. Ooh, maybe I should name it page. I think I did at one point. Alright, so let's create a page, or let's create a story. You have this horizontal scrollable, like a reel or tags, I don't know what you call it. And essentially you can scroll it, get ideas, tap it. If you tap Sasquatch, for example, like let ChatGPT create an example of like a random Sasquatch idea. And you can also speak into it, and then you can make my page. Let me fix all these things. And the same thing for story, but essentially you're just creating multiple coloring pages, and from there you're led to like the respective, I guess, page or views, screens. So story goes here, where you can see all the different pages that were generated and the text that goes along with it. Tap on the image, takes you to coloring that image. And so for the MVP, I was trying to make it as minimal as possible while also having enough functionality. What I'm trying to do with every app I ship is have enough functionality that if I left it there on the App Store without making any changes, it's good enough. But I also don't want to like ship social extensive features that are not tested or requested by users. And yeah, so for this one, we're just going to be using the Apple's like native coloring tools. This is going to save a lot of time. And so like the main features are going to be just AI for ideas, AI for generating the actual coloring page. This is going to be a little bit of like back-end coding, or how do you say it? Like working with the back-end to get this gallery working. And this one's going to be a little bit more like local storage, probably. So just storing the images on your phone. I don't know if I'm going to have like cloud storage, but I'm thinking about it. And then the settings. So I am going to have to integrate the subscription, kid parental controls, so having like a dictionary of words that are blocked to prevent like certain images or prompts from being sent to the AI. And yeah, I think that's going to be like the main difficulties. Everything else is just like a bunch UI coding, programmatic UI coding. Programmatic, yeah. Alright, so with that, let's start to break this down, and this is why I have my iPad up. Oh, actually, let me go through the coding breakdown of this app. So my goal today, and I probably won't be sharing like everything I do on stream because it's only 3 hours, and I work on apps like 10 to 12 hours a day. So the first day, which is today, my goal is to handle data, like figure out what data is on the app that I need to consider, because last time when I made my app, I just made it on the fly, and it wasn't until I got to like the second week that I realized I should have been following NVC Model V controller, and so that required like an entire refactoring that I could have avoided. And yeah, I think that was the main reason, and it took me like 2 to 3 days to figure my way out of that. And then what else? Yeah, so what data, where everything is being stored, what inputs are coming into the app. So like what I haven't tested ChatGPT or any AI coloring book creation yet, and I don't think I'll test those until maybe tomorrow. But for now, I can just look at the API, see how I'm calling, see what's being sent back, and just account for that into the code I'm going to start writing. And what else? And then also, if I think I'll have time, just not on stream, create these screens on Xcode. Day 2 is going to be researching the AI that's going to be creating coloring pages, and then also the probably using like ChatGPT or Claude for these ideas. Yeah, for these ideas. Yeah, and that shouldn't be too difficult. And then I'll be making this view and this view day 2. Day 3, I'm going to work on the gallery and the explore, because at that point I will have integrated with AI. I think so. Note, this timeline is like a 7-day timeline. It might be expanded to 2. Just everything I'm saying, think times 2. But 1 to 2 weeks is still better than never shipping anything. So I said explore page day 3, and then onboarding. So right now my onboarding is just blank. I realized how important onboarding is from Alex Slater and his whole team at Quitter, and so we'll see if that. Right now I'm not going to integrate Superwa, but eventually I will. But for now, I'm just going to take the suggestions that they had, see if that brings me any revenue for this app. And onboarding, yeah, so onboarding was day 3. Day 4, going to work on the settings, and what that means, because it's more than just this page, it's like integrating the parental controls, having a passcode, having the dictionary that blocks certain prompts, yeah, integrating subscription, which I am not familiar with, and then clearing the data, updating preferences. And something I haven't mentioned yet that I will be part of the onboarding phase, day 3, is when in the onboarding, I'm going to ask them like what age groups they're in, what's their interests, like are they interested in Sasquatch, aliens, or princesses, and I don't know, what, like princesses and castles, or I don't know. And yeah, so I'm gonna ask them what they're interested in, and that's gonna basically update these ideas that are suggested to them. And yeah, and then also maybe this explore page. And what else? That's day 4, right? Day 5 is then day 5 is just a continuation of implementing all the settings if it takes more time. Theme color, sending back feedback, rating the app, sharing the app, terms and privacy. I think day 5 is actually kind of light, but it might work just as having like a buffer in case any of the first 4 days go bad. Day 6, integrating with iPad. I think a lot of people are going to be using this on their iPad just to have a larger screen, and also want to support Apple Pencil. So that's going to be day 6, just testing it, making sure it works on the iPad how it looks and works on the iPad how I intended. Day 7, I'm going to be getting the app ready to put it on the App Store. So we're going to be making the app icon, we're going to be working on the screenshots, working on the description. I also want to do a quick check just to make sure I'm compliant federally and internationally with COPPA, FTC, GDPR, since it is for kids. I think the biggest point is going to be just making sure that I'm not so from what I remember from FTC, there's something about parental oversight and letting the parents handle the data that is collected from the kids. letting them delete it, which is part of handling it. I think that's all I remember. So I do need to refresh my mind on what that was. And for this, I don't plan to integrate ads, so the only thing I'm probably going to be collecting is anything that just helps personalize the app, what their interests are, and then also what prompts they provide. Or maybe not, well, maybe the prompts, yeah, and the images. But I'm not going to be, how do you say, like, tying it to kids and tracking the kids. That's weird. But for the images, for example, I do want to share them right here. Show them what other kids are doing without necessarily allowing them to interact with other kids. So they can tap on the image to color it, but they can't like it or comment on it or any of that. And these images are also going to be moderated. So before I share them with other kids, just going to make sure that they are appropriate for this age range. And so I think that's going to handle a lot of the things. Also allowing them to just clear their data here, update their preferences, or have no preferences. So I think that's going to cover most of it. Oh, and then day 8, if I do ship it day 7, start to think about marketing. So it's looking at internal user-generated content. I'm going to figure that out. I haven't done anything in that area with my first app yet, so that'll be interesting and fun. And then influencer outreach on day 8, and then actually the next day, or the next thing after this app, is coming up with app number 3. After that, after app 3 is done, app number 4, then we're going to focus on marketing for a little bit and really honing in, start making at least $100 hopefully a month from these 4 apps. And yeah, so let's get started. Where am I at? Where's my head? So looking at this first part, how am I gonna do this? Let's make this tiny. You're just gonna have to get used to not seeing my writing clearly. So the first part was I wanted to figure out what's the flow of data in this app, because I want to get an idea of what models, what structs I'm gonna have to be implementing in the app, and just, well, yeah, that's basically the main goal. So what data? Let me think. Wait. All right. So the gallery. I guess I can. So we have the gallery, and that's gonna have a bunch of different images from different categories. Or let's write this. We're gonna have the weekly theme. Let's layer this, make a hierarchy. So we have the weekly theme. We're gonna have from the kids, and then we're gonna have a bunch of other categories, and then each of these are just gonna have images which will be fine. But oh, it's too early to think this clearly. Weekly theme. This is gonna be updated images every week. I'm not used to having a microphone in my face. Images per week. Kids, we're gonna have that's actually a good question. Every day, maybe. Let's do every day. Every day, or even more frequently than that. No, I think every day is good. Like, I'll do every day for now, because every image reel is gonna have like 10 to 20 images that they can choose from. If a kid's just going through 20, then I mean that's good, but I don't think kids are gonna be going through 20. And they can also go, they have like 10 other rows that have 10 other pictures that are going to be updated. They're going to appear to look like they're updated every day. So that's like 100 images they can go through. I think it'll be fine every day. Yeah, now that I put in the context of having other images that they're going to be given. So every day, and then categories I think will also be every day. And updated. Okay. Wait, let's have a little bit more structure to this. Images. Okay, so gallery has these three, I guess, categories or things, data structures maybe. And then these have a different update frequency, and then what goes inside of them is an image. And then the rest is just, oh, suggest a topic. Okay. So that's going to be another thing that takes some data. Suggest. Suggest a topic, and this is going to basically this is going to be two ways. So it's going to have okay, let me think about this. So these two are going to be outputs. Basically, the images are going to be provided to them. We're not going to be taking in anything from them. And so in that sense, it's an output. And okay, let me align everything better now. Maybe not arrows. So weekly theme from kids. categories, suggesting a topic, and then I'm just gonna align this better. Duh. So suggesting a topic is going to have an input and an output. So here we're going to have to update to have this like overlay, or basically I didn't explain this. When I try to have, since these are like MVPs, I try to have these like little hooks, I guess, where users can continue to like help me update the app. And this is just like when they're scrolling at the end, they're maybe like, there's nothing else, I'm kind of bored, like I want to see this, and so they have this little button that they can act on, request a category. And the first 3 are going to be suggestions, probably from like ChatGPT, where I tell them the user, tell chat, like, the user's interested in these different things. Can you think of like 3 other things that are kind of broad that might apply to other kids that they might want to see? And then those ideas are listed here. The user can check off multiple of these, and then also type in their own idea. And what I'm going to be doing is processing these like every twice a week maybe, or I don't know, we'll see. We need to set up the systems for this, and this is why I'm trying to figure out what are the inputs, outputs. But yeah, this essentially just lets users contribute to their experience with the application. And the inputs that they're going to be providing are... okay. Yeah, so categories... suggested categories. And then for outputs, what am I doing? Oh yeah. So we're gonna have AI recommend I don't know what words I can say, but AI recommended categories. Category. Let's just do category, because then I'm not normally awake at this time, so if you're wondering why this first stream is a little slow, that's why. So it's going to be a list, and then each is going to be an AI recommended category. But then how do we prevent... Or you can just write this down. So what I'm wondering about is, like, how do you prevent AI from recommending the same things? How do we update it? That I don't know. Duplicates. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see it. So maybe AI recommend category is going to be an array or a JSON of previous suggestions. AI is going to look at that. Wait. previous, JSON of previous suggestions. A suggestion becomes a previous suggestion when the user has opened this overlay and suggested other categories or suggested their own idea. The other ones are ones that they dismissed. So, okay. Continue to update, prevent duplicates. So, how can we do this? Well, I just mentioned it. Prevent, like a JSON. Is that going to be a lot of data? Well, I don't... Well, maybe not. It might not be too expensive because it's just a few words. And yeah, I think it's just a few words. I mean, I want to get to the point where I'm having the issue that so many users are using it that I'm worried about how many words they've previously declined. So JSON of previous words. Prevent duplicates, continue to update. So we're gonna have a JSON of previous words. I just said it all, now it's starting to slip. JSON of previous words. And basically we're gonna check it, or previous, a word becomes previous. Previous when submission is made. And it is unchecked. And then JSON of previous words and suggest previous yeah, not just the previous words but also the words that were selected. So JSON of previous and suggest or submitted. Let's go with submitted. Makes more sense. The reason I'm like so picky on what I'm writing is because later I'm going to look at this and think, what did I mean by suggested? And it needs to be clear for myself. JSON of previous and submitted words. And a word becomes a previous word when a submission is made and it is unchecked. Same thing for submitted. Let's actually go vertical or horizontal. And what else? So that's how we're handling the AI recommended categories. We're basically, for every category that we're going to add to this overlay, we're going to check if there was a previous word or previous suggestion. And let's add that actually. So we only have to update. Okay. So updates are going to be dates check and updates are going to check previous and submitted words. And I'm wondering if it's going to be as simple as like, hi chat, here are the previous submissions, previous words and submitted words for this, for a user, not a specific user, just a general user. Can you suggest 3 more words that they might be interested in? Yeah. Yeah. Can you suggest 3 new words? Update checks for and provides. And then, wait, AI input. Wait. Oh, I'm confusing myself now. Okay. So suggested topic is this overlay. The inputs that are going to be provided. Confusing myself now. Okay. Yeah, I think I confused this. So what I did was good, but outputs is going to be this. AI recommended category is going to be an output. Input is going to be the was going to be the same thing, no? For user for now I think it's going to be the same thing. It feels like I'm at an interview and I'm having to speak out loud everything I'm thinking. I'm just not wanting to look dumb. Suggested topic, inputs, outputs is going to be AI categories. These categories, basically when they click send idea, I'm going to take those, take the words that are checked and unchecked, add them to a JSON or just whatever data structure, and then so it's like a cycle. It's not necessarily like it's strictly inputs, strictly outputs. Like at one point I have 3 categories, and those are basically going to be inputs, but it's when I'm serving up new ones, when I'm updating it, that's technically an output. So it's like a cycle, I guess you could think of it. So I mean, how do we like I don't know if that'll make sense later to me, but we're gonna go with it. And I think that covers everything on the gallery. Weekly theme. Weekly theme is just going to be a bunch of images that are curated by, and I think the next thing after this is going to be like how to get, I want to make systems. I don't want to make a job or some like having to hire like virtual assistants. How to get like themes, how to get automatic themes, and so I think my ideal, yeah, okay, that works out. And then after that, hire, oh, you can't see it, hire, what do you call it? So what it looks like is having I guess like a dashboard. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make like a dashboard or something. Let me write that down. So what I'm basically thinking about right now is every week I want to have a new theme. It keeps the users, kids engaged. They can come back next week, see like, oh, Valentine's is past, like what's President's Week? I don't know. Maybe that's too political right now. Is it political to have your... I don't know, I'm not going to get into that. But basically every week there's a new theme. And I don't want to be the one generating those images, like spending like an hour trying to, or not even an hour, just like spending even 10 minutes, like that's a lot. Spending 10 minutes every week generating images, putting it into like the back end, and yeah, putting it into the back end manually, like that seems like it's gonna bring in a lot of errors, prone to human error, which is me. And so what I want to try to do actually is have a dashboard where I go onto it, I see, oh, these are the new, this is the weekly suggest, like I want to go onto dashboard and just see this, like a snippet of this, and then see approve, deny, or deny, approve. And I scroll through it, or I look at the weekly theme, I look at the images and say approve, deny. Let me actually like prototype that. And then eventually, when it starts making more money, I can just hire a virtual assistant, tell them, yo, is this, or I could even get AI, but that, there's always like, I guess going to be corner cases with AI that I think would be better. If I get to the point where the brand is important enough, hiring a virtual assistant will be more secure, I guess. But basically, let's see. Dashboard, we're going from the dashboard, what we want it to look like is we're going to have a snippet, and this is going to have weekly, and then it's going to have the theme, subtitle, and then it's going to have a bunch of images that were already generated by AI. And then we're going to resize. This might be a lot. Like at first I might just do things that don't scale. And well, I actually think do things that don't scale. I think in that sense I'm going to have the dashboard. But I'm going to be the one uploading the theme, title, the subtitle, and then the images, and then later on okay, so stage 1, I am going to be okay, it's gonna be dashboard, and then I'm going to upload theme, title, subtitle, images. So I'm going to be the one up doing it. Stage 2 might be like when this gets to 5,000 MRR. Dashboard AI. And images. which I can edit. Upload. Okay, let's do upload and edit. Which then means I can just plug and play AI when stage 2 comes in. So ultimate goal is going to be like deny and deny, approve, and then let's just do like another one and do oh, edit. Let's do edit here. So we can edit it and then deny. Wait, what if we why does this make sense though? Okay, I think maybe a better way to do this might be so basically having a refresh button that applies to the whole page, but then maybe also the individual sections. I can edit it or just refresh it until it gives me something that's close enough, and then I can tweak it and then just approve it. And then, or maybe not just approve, but manually on date okay, yeah, that works better, because then I don't have to do this. I can like plan a few weeks in advance instead of having to do this every week, which would have been the other dashboard. Resize, send. Yeah, so that's the dashboard in the future. And that's all for the weekly theme. Now, from kids, how are we going to manage this? Wait, I'm going to take a quick break. Get water, blow my nose. A lot of boogers. And yeah. Alright, so we have the weekly theme down and how we're going to continue to manage that over time. And then next thing I'm going to look at is creative kids. So this is basically going to be user generated content. Keeps it fresh, keeps kids coming back, and it's going to be moderated, so it's also safe. I don't plan to do any apps for this one just because it feels weird, like trying to feed kids ads. I'd prefer to just do subscription, premium. So from kids is basically going to, what's that look like? I think at first I'm just going to generate 10 images. What does that look like? Because I don't know how long it's going to get to take off. And so I need to consider the case where there's no kids using it for like months. Or not months, but like a month. And usually the hardest part is the takeoff. So I don't want it to be empty. Maybe I'm making the images myself. Giving myself like 30 credits and just every day making a new... Well, see, that seems like not unscalable, but like I can implement a mechanism to do that for me. I just give a bunch of... So I want to generate these images, or... Wait, the music's blocking my thinking. My music. Y'all can't listen to music. So what does this look like? What does this look like? Kids generate images, or no? What does this look like? So kids are generating images. Their images are going to be shown in the gallery. Here. And what I'm doing is basically, how do I manage what goes here? How do I make it scalable like the previous one? And I don't have to... Well, I guess not necessarily just scalable, but maintainable. And in here we can see it kind of goes hand in hand. Well, it goes hand in hand. So how do we make this maintainable and scalable? See, this is the issue, because at first you want to do things that don't scale. So like someone at the start would probably consider just manually like updating the weekly theme, manually updating the 4 kids row. But that's prone to errors, no? Well, I think I'm okay with it. How would I make it though? Is that like a app that I made for my internal app? Is that a thing? Can you make an internal app? Or should I use like Python? How would I make this? Swift, Python. Okay, anyways. For kids, these gonna be updated every day. Basically, what I'm doing is we want it to be, okay, let me just write this down because I'm just spinning cycles in my head. It's going to be moderated. It's going to be taken from kids. I'm not going to be tracking any particular kid. These are just going to be images that I receive. So how am I going to receive these? Probably in the dashboard. Dashboard then can be like, have bullet points. It's going to be like what I want to look at. Weekly theme. Can you see this? Then maybe you want to update the for or from kids. So it's going to be just like a menu. Weekly theme for kids, blah, blah, blah. Click on it. Go to the individual pages where I can update it, I guess. Okay, I'm thinking too ahead, but I was just thinking like, what if I had next to this like, to do, or like, I don't know, one to do, and if I don't do it, nothing's going to break because it's just going to keep using the previous info, which isn't optimal, but at least it's there and it's not blank and nothing's going bad. One to do. So anyways, moderated from kids. Okay, what does it look like though? I still haven't answered that question. Is it just like a dashboard of me basically there is a bunch of these images. Oh, I can, oh no. And then I do like select. I don't know if I like this though. Well, I mean, it's a good start. The only issue is that this is every day. Weekly was weekly. I can improve it. Weekly, that's fine. This is every day. And I don't know if I want to be selecting every single day 10 images that are going to be updated for all the kids. Well, this is where things don't scale. Because I can be trying to use AI, but then what if a bad image goes through? That won't be good. It's just 10 images. Just scroll through. An alternative is I can have chat or an AI. Okay, that might be like stage 2. Stage 1's gonna be I or AI suggests and I approve it. So that's stages. And then eventually a VA could handle that. And same thing for the weekly theme, a VA can handle that in the future. Or at 5K, maybe that's stage 3. So that handles the kids. And then the categories. How do I handle categories? So for now, categories are going to be what... Ooh, this is actually... That's a good question. Oh, Lord. I'm realizing that doing this for kids is going to be just a lot of, like, overhead. Because... So there's categories. Wait. Am I skipping... I'm skipping a thought, I think. Weekly theme's a bunch of images. But these images are different from all the other images because they're generated weekly, so the only way that they're similar is that the user can tap it, go to the coloring view. But the way in which they're different is that they're part of a category. For kids is a category. Categories are each different categories. So maybe we have a struct called category. This struct has an array of images. Am I making sense? So let's write this down. Struct category. And this is going to have an array of images. And yeah, this makes sense. Okay, because then weekly theme is just gonna instantiate category. For kids can instantiate category. Each category is gonna instantiate a category, and I don't know if I want to do this yet or this might be a future thing. Okay, let me start making different colors. Color orange, and then this would be red. Update frequency, and then based on that it'd be like enum. Frequency, and then this could be like daily, weekly. And then if I want to scale up this code, not sure what I'm seeing. First time chat. What does this mean? Stream boo. Am I trying to be fed? I don't know what that's saying. Okay. Sorry if it's a recommendation. I just don't understand. Stream boo. Probably nad. Anyways, enum. Why I want to add this enum is because in the future, for scalability, I can say like, I can specify a different frequency. I don't know, I think that's getting too in the weeds. I'll leave it, that's why it's in red. I'll leave it there for now, but I don't know if I'm going to be using it. So anyways, each of these are categories, are a category, and each category has images and titles, and images, titles, oh, okay, and then category name. Category name, and let's update these to say image titles. So we're gonna have equal to category name, images, image titles, and what else? Wait, is this what I was going to be working on today? Handling data, and then working on the create. I'm working on the Explorer a little bit, but I'm managing it. Yeah, it's only still got like 10 hours at least to work today. So I think this is good. We're making good progress. Category for images. Yep, looks good. And then I think the only thing that I didn't quite handle yet was topics. I'm gonna need another data structure. How do I manage this? Maybe this... Wait. Yeah, this is too much brain processing power for the morning. Our categories, the question that came up in my mind was, is this like, how exactly does data storage work with this? How does data storage... Because what I'm wondering is, so the images at any point in time are going to be stored on the cloud, or generated by AI, sent to the kid, or... Okay, this is going to be like I wanted this to be more structured, but I'm just kind of going with the flows here. How does data storage work? So this is going to be like, I guess I can have it here. There's going to be like an AI, and it's going to be giving it to... Oh, shit. Firebase? And then... interesting. Because what I'm thinking now is, if it gives it to Firebase, we're gonna have to have a way... No, wait. I'm overcomplicating this. So let's start with the user. So user gives prompt. This will go to Firebase. Right? And then they'll also, that prompt is going to be sent to AI. I'm going to experiment, but AI can be like a block for now, because it might be that I need to update the prompt first with Chat GPT or Claude, and then have that sent to another AI. And so this prompt is going to be sent to Firebase and AI. AI is going to generate the image. Okay, what do we do with the image? We're going to give it to the user. But, well, yeah. If the user's prompting the AI to generate an image, it's because they want that image in their category, in their gallery. They want to color that image. So this image is going to be sent back to the user in full what do you call it? Full detail. And that user will then, with that image, I want to do I accept it, or do I, how exactly does this work? Okay, maybe I don't, I think, okay, I need to delete this. What I want to happen, what I want is to get an image I don't know if I want the prompt. I know that I want a title for the image. No, not here. For this. This is going to be a story, so I'm going to want the title for the story. Or I want the title for the image. Or I can just have a placeholder. Let the people. So then I won't need to take the prompt. Wait, at any point would I need the prompt? Right now I'll just put a question mark, because I'm thinking if I can, let's say I feed that prompt into an LLM, ask it, give me 1 to 2 words of what this category is, and then I can help update what images or what categories, what suggestions I'm giving to the kid. Because the other place where I'm suggesting ideas for the kid is here. And well, let me write that down. Summarized. For maybe explore, create ideas. So that's really the only 2 places I guess I need it. Oh, and then also for suggest. Explore. What I want an image. I don't want the prompt, but I do want a summarized prompt, so I can then update their explore, their create ideas, and their suggestions that they can give me. So how does that tie back to the user and the image? So my issue with what was happening before was if I store all these images on Firebase, I might be racking up storage. So what I want to happen is I want that image provided to me, which I can store, because it's not going to be, the kid can't upload personal images. They can't upload personal images and then ask ChatGPT, can you make this image of my family so it won't be personalized? And I'm wondering if there's cases where you can make it so personal that it clearly identifies the kid. I don't think so, because you're not able, unless they're saying like, my measurements are, my face looks like this, my eyes are like this. I don't think you can get it so personal that happens. And if it does, then I'll delete it. But is there an issue if I'm storing the images myself to avoid racking up storage fees? I need to think about that. So yeah. Problem. Can I store images locally to avoid storage? Because I'm not storing any personal information. The images can't no PI images not PI. So that's the question, I think. If I don't have any personal information, images don't convey personal information. Is there any issue with that? Otherwise, if there's lots of kids using this, but then if there are lots of kids, how does Instagram do all this? Anyways, the whole point was I need these images so then I can update, create, or from kids. What time is it? It's too early. My brain's starting to just, I need exercise and then work again. So user, prompt, image. I want these images. And then I want to summarize prompt. So let's just like pretend I'm dumb for a minute, because I feel like it. We're going to get we're going to send prompt AI summarize it, and then we're also going to be sending, or maybe do we send that back to the user? Well, there's a case where we do send it back to the user, so then they can use that as a title. Oh, I messed up this diagram. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just like so this will be the image, and then this is given to, this is the question that I'm curious about. Firebase local or local, and then this is going to be for kids. let's just pretend I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I'm just making diagrams that don't make sense, or that are vague, as vague as the words I use to describe the diagram. That's good. Wait, so what am I doing? Moderated. How does this work? What I realized was all of this is actually for kids, and I don't know why I drew it under this other one. Or no, this. Okay. So that's for kids, how we're going to be updating that. And we said how we're going to be updating. Oh, this is so intricate. Because, let's see. So what I realized was here what I described with weekly theme is how I'm going to maintain it, scale it, but not how I'm going to be updating it in the code. I think I was doing that from kids. Yeah. That's what I started doing here. So I can take that part of it. Okay, so we'll just take this diagram. No. Well, maybe. I'll just copy it. I feel like am I making this too complicated? Well, okay. What I am doing though is thinking about it now. So I can draw it. Doesn't mean the good thing about drawings is it only took me an hour, 30 minutes, and I can redo it instead of redoing code. Yeah, so what did I no, so I did start thinking about it. Here, dashboard upload. Okay, yeah, so I guess I'm gonna be the one coming up with themes. Me is going to be providing title, images to my dashboard. Wait. Okay, I realized something. But let me see. Wait, no, actually. So this is the issue with writing in red. Now how do I... Got to go back and organize this. Or what's like a good pink? Doesn't purple. Consider words blocked. So essentially with every prompt the user provides, there's a list of words that are blocked, and maybe the prompt will also ask ChatGPT or an AI if it's kid friendly. And so I need to consider that in the diagram, that I'm blocking. There's a words blocked. There's a list of words that are going to be blocked. Was there anything I'm missing? No, don't think so. And let me start drawing this in orange, because then I'm just gonna. So to make this app work, I need to be the one providing the title, subtitle, images to my dashboard, which is then going to be updating the weekly Firebase, which is then going to be shipped out. Yeah. Because then my dashboard, the alternative, if I want to be providing things in advance, say I want to be providing content for the next month because I don't want to do this 1 week at a time, I can tell my dashboard upload on a certain day, and that just means from my computer or server, from my computer for now, upload it on a certain day, and then so it's time stamped, and if it doesn't update or if it fails for whatever reason, then I'll just have an alert. I can update it since it's not like critical. It'll be fine if if it takes me a day to notice. Dashboard sends it to Firebase sends it to I was gonna say cloud, but it's more like to devices, users. So that's how weekly looks like. And this is how we're going to be managing the 4 kids section. And then all these other categories is next. Oh, what time is it? Tired. So wait, what am I going to be? So what was again my intention to do today? It was to figure out the data. I'm going in detail right now. Okay. Maybe I'll do this, because I'm like, this is a lot of detail to go into this early in the morning. I think I'm going to be more productive if I just take the original action and complete it at a broad level. So, gallery was one. Create. Is another. Let's just list them all at the moment. Create, page versus story. Are they any different? They are slightly different. Okay, so what I think I'll do is I'll consider this, and this will just be a sub case of this case. And then here for the story, we're not using AI, but we are handling data. So story view controller, and then we're gonna have the page. So these are all gonna be like, if you're noticing, that gallery is gonna be a view controller, and this view controller, because like basically each page is just data and UI. Data and UI. Yeah. And the UI is pretty simple. Like, well, I'm not actually familiar with this. It's probably gonna be like a scroll view, and within the scroll view there's going to be a vertical scroll view. Within that is going to be a stack view containing horizontal. I can write this down. So it's going to be horizontal scroll. Scroll view, and then within this is going to be a stack view, a vertical stack view, and within the vertical stack view are going to be vertical scroll view. Within that is going to be a vertical stack view. Within that is going to be a horizontal. Is going to be wait. Another stack view? Just to make it modular. I'm running out of space. Or I can have this higher up. But anyways, so the gallery is going to be a view controller that's going to have a vertical scroll view. Within that is going to be a stack view made up of all of, like, you can think of these as sections, and so that each of these sections is going to be another stack view, and each stack view is going to be, so weekly is going to be like its own thing, or yeah, so within this we'll say it's weekly, and then we're going to have a weekly stack view, and then we're going to have all the other just category stack views. What am I? Oh yeah. And then within this is going to be, so this is within weekly is going to be like the weekly spotlight, then the title, subtitle, images. Yep. And then categories is just like is going to have the title, label, and then we're going to have a horizontal stack view. No. Stack view? Horizontal scroll view, maybe. And then I think I messed this up actually. So we're going to have vertical scroll view. I'm like, my convention's moving all over the place. And then this is going to be, maybe this is why Flutter is like, as I've never coded in Flutter, but I can imagine like all the nested stuff, this is where it comes from. We're gonna have a scroll view, stack view, stack view, yep, weekly, category is gonna have a title label, then we're gonna have a horizontal scroll view, which is all these images, which is then going to be made up of images, and then there's going to be some spacing. And then weekly view plus spacing. And that way it's going to be or maybe not, responsive is probably a better word. Across all different devices, it's going to be working. Because it's just scroll views, stack views, made scroll views and stack views basically to just organize UI images and UI labels. And so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so then these titles, these labels, these images, the way that we organize all of it is through the data structures. And how did I get onto this rant? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because we're looking at view controllers. We're talking about view controllers. Create VC, story, page VC. Well, actually, I have enough space. I don't know why I kept following that. Page VC. Page VC, where is that at? Story. Create. Wait. Color. Start. Color. Yep. Color. VC. Gallery VC. And then settings, view controller. So what we have on create, we're talking about data right now. I kind of want to follow the impulse of just like, if you see how I kind of just pseudocoded the gallery VC UI, that was kind of like fun because it was quick, and handling the data and all of that was not quick. You can see for like explore the data, thinking about all the data, the inputs, outputs, I spent like an hour 30 minutes, and then the UI was just like, oh, it's this 5 minutes, it's done. That's basically how it is when you're making an app. With ChatGPT, the UI is even quicker, and especially with like if you're using just stack views, scroll views, and programmatic UI, it's a lot faster than trying to like use interface builder. And I am referring to like using the UI kit. I haven't tried Swift UI. I don't know if it right now I have the interpretation that's underpowered. But my intention is to learn it in the next like month or two. But for now, just going with what I learned, which is the UI kit. But anyways, how did I get onto that tangent that I liked? Making the UI because it was quicker. I forgot the connection, but anyways, oh yeah, data takes longer. Kind of just wanted to do data or UI, but the simple is for the winners, for the finishers, I should say. Right now I need to get through this, so let's create page story. Okay, so what I can just do, like, let me make this an idiot's task. How do I make this simple for myself to just want to get through it in the next 15 minutes? Cool, 15 minutes left. Let's just get through this app. So first thing is page. That might be an enum, but I don't know. And then ideas is gonna be updated with refresh, and then that's gonna be using AI. I'm gonna just write that now. And then text field. The text field. Oh, actually something else. If tapped, generates If tap, an AI generates an idea, which updates the text field. And what else? I guess text field is going to be, or the prompt, I could say prompt / text field. And what else? We're going to have the text to speech. I don't know how I'm going to integrate that. I think Apple has something that can handle that. And what else? Credits left. So what is the user interacting with that I need to account for on this page? So we said page story, ideas, the prompt, text to speech, the credits, and then the button. Button to create. And then the only thing I didn't consider that I need to is the how many pages. Or number of pages. And I think the thing that I haven't considered yet is, let's say that the user wants to make 5 pages. How should that, because right now I think the prompt text field is good for a single page, but I don't have clear instructions on how to make multiple pages. So what I'm going to write, how does UI UX to help user for example, do I have multiple text fields show up? Do I change the placeholder text? Update or okay, so that's something I need to consider. And then let's continue because I only have 10 minutes left. And then I get my workout in. This is just taking from this. Yeah, when I'm doing the idiots just walk through. So this is fine. And story VC, what does this do? We're gonna have the title. We're gonna have the images show up. Images. The actual scroll, like gallery or scrolling through the images, I think is more UI. So that I can just make like a view controller or a class for that. And then page 1 of 3 is looking at wait. Story, title, images. page number is going to basically take from the images. No, yeah, this is okay. Page number, the current page we're on is basically going to be updated based on, yeah, so that's going to be a little bit more complicated than just a variable. If this is a class, if it's, yeah, do anything about it. So yeah, we'll write down page, and then the text field. Or the text. Story text. Let's just say story text. That we need to think about. Try to swipe my computer. Then color BC, what we're looking at here. So when I'm going through this, like, it's making me realize how maybe complicated everything is, because there's just so much like cross communication that I need to figure out. But that's like trying to look at the mountain in front of me, and right now I'm just gonna try to avoid feeling that that pressure, just do one task at a time. So color VC, again, we're gonna have the title, we're gonna have the image, we're gonna have, that's UI, the coloring tools. As for this is UI duplicate. Duplicate might be, or okay, let's do, I don't know if clear is UI, so I'll write it down. Oh, I guess, yeah. Okay, so I guess a better way to say what I'm doing right now is trying to separate what is UI versus what is model, view, and controller. So trying to separate what is models and controllers from what is the views or the UI, because that's basically how I'm going to code it. And color VC, title, the image, and the way that I think about it is like title, is this going to be the same title on every single image, or is it going to be changing based on like the user? If I don't have a placeholder, if it's a placeholder, then it's just UI. But if it's customized each time, then it's going to be in the model or controller. Same thing for the image. Well, image for sure, because we're not just going to have one image. And then clear. This I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's as simple as just like image view dot clear or something like that. Share, it is UI. Print is just UI. Duplicate, oh yeah, so duplicate. Duplicate is report is as well, because that's going to be sending to me a notice that this image is inappropriate and I need to, oh, so in that case maybe I do need to save prompts, because then I need to see whether it's a prompt that slipped by, or yes, I'll write that down here. But then, and the last one is delete. And delete is because then I need to update their local storage. So report is save prompts. This gives me a reason to save the prompts. A justifiable reason, I should say. Not that I need to use that kind of language, but it gives me a reason to save the prompts, because it's so I can investigate inappropriate came from user or AI. So that's going to help me figure out those cases. And if it's from user, then that just means I need to tighten up the dictionary. If it's AI, I need to figure out how I can... If it's AI, I think the best case would be that I figure out what words triggered it, and then I can update the dictionary to remove those words. Or I can update the prompt that prompts the AI for the image to include those corner cases. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. And tutorial is all UI. Pages or gallery. So gallery here, what we're gonna do is load up all these images and stories. So that's basically gonna be like mostly UI, just images and stories. And all of this other stuff is UI. This is a button in case this is. Okay. It's actually if or blank. Something this made me think about. So I didn't explain my thought here, but blank button is basically if they have no pages or if they have no stories, I'm gonna have this button here. They can click it, takes them to the create page to create a new page or story. And this made me consider, like, let's suppose that they are in Explore. The other way to add an image is in the Explore page. If you find an image you like, tap on it. But then do they keep it if they tap on it, or do they keep it if they color it? So that's something else I need to consider. Gallery. Let me write down that thought here. Do they keep if tap or color? Or let's say they have like a save button, like a yeah, that's how they'll save it. Okay, cool. So we're almost done. Gallery VC, we have 1 more minute left, and then I need exercise. Pages, yeah, this is just taking that, showing different perspective of the data. And parental controls. So this, I'll move on to the next page. So here, I mean, this is all UI, but where it doesn't get into UI is when we have, hold on a minute. Oh. All right. So within settings, it's just a bunch of it's a table view with category. Yeah, table view with categories, but that's the UI. What I'm curious about now is, well, okay, I guess a better way to think about it is I actually have other UIs or VCs that I need to consider. Oh, this is a lot of pages. A lot more than my first app. Blocked words VC, passcode VC, subscription info VC, update preferences VC, clear data. Wait. Clear data, does that need to be... Interesting. Passcode. No, okay. Or just like a UI. Or an overlay. But that's... an overlay would still be a VC. It would just be a smaller view controller. UI alert... Wait. A smaller view... Yeah. A smaller view controller. Blocked words... Yeah, that's probably going to be a VC. A view controller. Subscription info is going to be a VC. And update preferences is probably gonna be a VC. I'll say preferences because I think maybe I can just take them to the onboarding again, and they can update it. Update preferences, and if they're gonna clear data, I think that can be a... Wait, did I... Passcode. I said blocked, subscription, preferences, clear data might be like a... UI alert. And then the theme color is probably going to be a VC. So many pages. Send feedback. Oh, that's going to be a VC. But that's going to be a simple one because I already have integrated that in my first app, so I could just copy that over. Rate app is going to be what is it called? I don't know what it's called because I haven't used it before, but I know it's just going to be like some iOS native function or class or something. It's just going to be a function that I call, and it'll open that, send them to the App Store, share app as well. And terms of service, terms and privacy are going to be web link, web link. Cool. And then I guess what I haven't thought about is the all these other VCs. Blocked word, subscription. No, subscription is going to be part of the onboarding. Preferences might be onboarding. So then the ones I haven't thought about, are just blocked words, subscription, which I do need to think about because I'm thinking about the data. So I'll get to that today. Preferences might be part of onboarding. So just send them back to the onboarding. Wait. Oh, yeah. And then, wait, preferences. No, I do need to think about it. Because it does impact the app. It's like, even if I don't make up the UI, I still need to think about the data. Clear data is just part of thinking about preferences and how that is all integrated and just clearing it. Theme color, I think I should think about it, but it's just gonna be the color, and the icon is more so UI, so it's just the color that I need to think about, and that's a variable, but I need to think about how that variable is stored. Send feedback, that's going to be, that's completely isolated from the rest of the app, so that's fine. Later. Yeah, so everything else is fine. I just need to think about these 4 VCs, really 3 and like a half or a fifth. I like how my indentation just slowly increases as I continue to write. Cool. Alright, so then that was what I did during stream. Started to think about the data, the storage. What I need to do later today is go through my notes, and finish about structs and / controller. For my previous app, I followed a MVVM model view view model. Yeah. Model view model, and I never learned it, but I was kind of just using, like, I would tell like chat, can you help me organize my completely chaotic code into MVVM? My thinking was I would learn it as I was coding my app, because everyone says learn it on the go, and I took it to the extreme where I'm literally just chat, do it for me, and then I'll try to understand how this is different from MVC. It didn't work. I followed it through, but I still don't really understand the difference between MVC and MVVM. Oh yeah. So I need to think about what's going into the model, what's going into the controller files, and if I have enough time, I'm going to go right for the core I was thinking, so the core functionality is the create this page. So the UI, start making it. But as I was thinking, if I finish the data, should I go straight into this or should I do something else? So that's actually something I guess I'll check with chat, get its opinion on. If I have all this data and I know what structures, do I just start making, or do I is there a better place to start? A better way to start, I guess, is a better way to say it. Not a better place. Because my issue is I don't want to no, I think it'd be fine to make it because it'll be easy, and then I can just leave all of this to be updated by the view controller. Yeah, I think it should be fine actually, but likely start with create. So if everything goes to plan tomorrow, I'll have this page, and we should start working on exploring Stable Diffusion, Midjourney. I don't know if there's any other image generation AI, so we're going to explore those, see how we can create coloring pages, and yeah, explore AI for the images, maybe for this and this and this. And so once I understand how to use it, then I can look at the API. Once I have the API, I can connect it to the app, and I don't know if I'll go as far as connecting it, but maybe as far as API. And then my goal tomorrow is then to have this story view done, this coloring view done, and this story view done. And at that point, you can literally see that the core of the app is like done. We're gonna have kids are able to create a page, create a story, color them. Done in the first 3 days. And then after that, it's all about just packaging it up and making it a little bit nicer. So explore day 3. Oh, day 3. Yeah, faster than I even thought. Explore is going to be day 3. So this core is going to be done in the first 2 days. Basically, I made an app in like 9 days if I do finish tomorrow. Because I thought about the idea, researched it, came up with the low fidelity, high fidelity wireframes. And then day 3, yeah, explore, the onboarding. Day 4, finish the settings. Day 6, integrate test. Yeah, so it's like how to make an app in 2 weeks. That is dope. Alright, see you tomorrow.